Welcome back. Time now for Media Watch, which I'm joined by James Creedon. Hello, James.
Good evening, Tom.
Now, gracing the front pages of lots of magazines in front of you there, I can see already. None other than Nicolas Sarkozys, begging the question, have we got a bit of a comeback kid in front of us here?
I thought you were going to say he's begging to come back. Well, he might be. He might be as well. We'll take a look at this. This is Le Figaro magazine. Va-t-il revenir? Is he going to come back? That's today's edition of Le Figaro magazine coming with the newspaper. Let's take a look online, right? Because last week we saw this in Le Point. Coucou, me revoilà. Here I am, making a comeback. And you might have noticed him both. He's sporting a bit of stubble.
Yeah, he looks quite laid back in both pictures, actually.
And I wonder if that isn't sort of an attempt to look kind of nice and relaxed, all in a bid to maybe look more attractive in terms of being the comeback kid at some point. In any case, the media seem to miss him, that's for sure, but and are asking this question quite a lot. But if we take a look at a poll that came out today for RTL Radio, 55% of people don't miss him at all as president, in fact, and 39% not at all, 16% not really. That adds up to 55%. 44% do miss him somewhat, and apparently, if you ask far-right voters, they do miss him. 66% of them do miss him. Front National sympathisers. So there you go. What I think is interesting about that is the magazines have been saying, oh, his style is being missed at the Elysee, the energy, blah blah blah. Maybe the people miss him now because Hollande is maybe that little bit too normal. Well, that's what the media seemed to be saying. Now the poll would suggest otherwise, right? Now, when I was saying the media miss him, one person who misses him in particular is the cartoonist Plantu, who is the cartoonist for Le Monde. He said the departure of Nicolas Sarkozy was a catastrophe for me, and he points out that I have never known any politician who was such a caricature of himself as Nicolas Sarkozy. I owe him a lot of money. He made my job very easy, said Plantu. The drawing did itself. The pencil just ran along the page. So he said that, there you go. And he's been a cartoonist with the magazine with Le Monde for some 40 years now. And that's his effort today. So he is managing to make some fun of Hollande. On the 50 years of James Bond, you have the Queen, or that's not the Queen, that's Judi Dench, isn't it? Or
yes,
M.
it is. It's meant to be M.
Yes, votre mission, your mission, 007, is to bring back growth. And Bond is saying, when I just have this as a gadget, it's not very easy, i.e. Hollande. So it's sort of making a joke about Bond and growth and Hollande not being perhaps quite up to the job according to that cartoon.
All right, so Plantu is a clever man whose life, as you say, has been made a little bit more difficult.
That's right.
Now, despite that story and despite stories about comebacks that we've been hearing, a couple of negative news stories relating specifically to Nicolas Sarkozy.
That's right. So despite all of these front pages, etc., we have two stories today that I think are negative for him. One is was revealed by a journalist who is called Ariane Chemin, who writes for Le Monde newspaper. That's a photo over there. She wrote a book called The Night of Phukets, La Nuit de Phukets, which is where Sarkozy celebrated his victory night in 2007. Very negative about him. And she has just revealed that she was at the Elysee Palace in 2009 for a meeting with an advisor of the president. Sarkozy burst into the office and forced her to stay on longer than she wanted to, grabbed her by the arm. She tried to leave to the point where actually her jacket came off. Her jacket slipped off and was left in Sarkozy's hand. She stayed on for 90 minutes, during which they had a very aggressive verbal duel. He put his hand on her knee. He alternated between being spiteful and being complicit. She said she has never in all her life experienced anything quite so dramatic in terms of an altercation with a politician. So that is one piece of bad news for Nicolas Sarkozy. Another is that a good friend of his by the name of Christian Clavier, who is an actor, a French actor, had said he's going to flee to London, right? Because he is sick of the incessant attacks that he suffers because he's a friend of Nicolas Sarkozy. He said not just he, but his family have been suffering a lot because of these attacks over his friendship with Nicolas Sarkozy, and he's fleeing to London.
Goodness me, that's a dramatic development there for that actor.
Right.
Finally, Mitt Romney has made an appearance on a French magazine, Le Parisien magazine.
That's right.
They're calling him an extraterrestrial. What's this about?
That's this is Le Parisien magazine. There you have it there, and I think we have the paper version here. Romney l'extraterrestre, Romney the extraterrestrial. Now it's a very dramatic front page headline. They're saying the Mormon billionaire who is defying Obama, but actually, if you leaf through to the inside, they're just calling him, instead of an extraterrestrial, an enigma. So it's a bit of a letdown when you read the article. They don't pursue any theories, conspiracy theories about him coming from Mars or anything like that. It's more, I think, just what would you say, a metaphor for what a strange being he is from European perspective.
Perhaps more of an alien concept, perhaps.
That's right.
Readers of Le Parisien, at any rate.
As opposed to a Martian.
All right. Thank you very much indeed,
Tom.
James Creedon. That was Media Watch. Well, it's time now for a check of what's getting people blogging, clicking, and sharing online. Our daily date with cyberspace web news starts right now.